Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Londiwe Maboya and welcome to another episode of Foundation of a Healthy Smile. But before we start with today's episode, I just want to invite you to our community. Make sure that you subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, your colleagues. Everyone needs to hear this information. Our mission is it's simple. We want you to be equipped. We want you to be empowered. And we do that by inviting experts, scientists that are going to be sharing the knowledge with you. And for today's episode, we have someone special in the studio. And this is someone that I've personally worked with for the past few months. That is none other than Dr. Situsa. Dr. Situsa, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Maboye. And I must say, I must give you accolades for this wonderful initiative. The public really needs to be informed and knowledgeable about oral health. And this is a wonderful platform, and I thank you for inviting me.
You are so welcome. So today we're talking orthodontic challenges related to primary dentition. And we are so lucky today because we have Dr. Situsa here that is going to be helping us. So Doc, tell us, when do they start? How do they start? You can just take us and you can start anywhere. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maboye. And I must say that a lot of parents always ask me this question. What leads to this formation of malocclusion? And it's a very complex topic, unfortunately, but we're going to break it down into various parts, and eventually most of the topics will be covered. So for the public, I think we need to know that there are two sets of teeth. The primary teeth, which we most commonly call the milk teeth, and then you have the permanent teeth. So the primary teeth.
Sorry, Doc, wait. I want to know. Why do they call them milk teeth, by the way? Are they too milky?
It is during the period at which the baby is sucking milk.
Oh.
I think that is the reason why they are called milk teeth.
Okay.
And then, as mentioned, they are later going to be replaced by the permanent teeth. So it is important to know that, malocclusion, as we call it, starts from the formation of teeth and it goes all the way until teeth are fully present in the mouth. So it's not something that just happens suddenly. So today our focus is going to be on the milk teeth and how, what things can go wrong, which will then lead to later orthodontic challenges. So the first and very important thing that can happen is during the formation of the teeth. And Doc, you are working on a daily basis with little kids, and I'm sure you experience a lot of this. Can you take us in terms of formation? What are the things that can go wrong during the formation of teeth?
Sure, a lot can go wrong. They can be missing, hey? They can be totally not there, all right? And then also in terms of the shape, how they look, they're not looking as the way they should, according to the anatomy, right? Also, in terms of the number, you find that it's not, if it's supposed to be by that age, it's supposed to be 14 teeth, for instance, then the child has fewer teeth than it's what is expected.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I've experienced on my day-to-day clinical practice.
Yes, and parents would sometimes ask, why would this be the case? And I think, some of the things, as we say, are genetic, meaning you are born with a genetic defect which leads to either lack of formation or poor formation of those teeth. So, but there are also other diseases which can lead to poor formation. For instance, early childhood fevers can lead to the development of abnormal teeth, etc. So, but nonetheless, we can, we have a situation where you don't have teeth forming at all, and you can have a situation where you've got fewer teeth forming, And then you can also have a situation where the size and the shape is abnormal.
There you have it, parents. Okay, so we're going to be getting to the next one.
Yes.
But before we get to the next one, I'm thinking here, one of the parents, one of our viewers is asking themselves, what is actually orthodontics? Where does it come from? Sometimes we take it for granted.
Yes. Orthodontics is a specialty in dentistry, so meaning you have to be a dentist first, and then you specialize in the management of alignment of teeth. And of course, it's not just teeth. As we can imagine, the teeth are embedded in jaws, and if the jaws are not aligned, then the teeth will also not be aligned. So we deal with alignment of teeth as well as jaws, if we can sum it up, briefly. Well, the first scenario would be a situation where you lose teeth early. We just say early loss of teeth, and this can have several ramifications. Okay, so that is why now it's important for the public to know, to bring their children as early as possible to people like Dr. Mabuye, who has specialized or is focusing on the care of the primary teeth. So, for instance, basic home care at home, it's so important to make sure that those teeth are cleaned properly at home to avoid early loss. Because if you do not clean them properly, decay follows, and then very soon now you may lose them before the expected time. And now, why is this important? Well, remember, you've got the baby teeth, and when you look on the x-ray, underneath you'll find a permanent tooth coming. The problem is, if you lose your primary tooth beforehand, the permanent teeth will not be guided into the correct position and may deviate. And this is what then leads to teeth coming out in abnormal positions. So that home care, making sure that the teeth are cleaned, is so important to prevent this type of problem.
So what you are saying is that we don't think that far, that just neglecting that part can later on lead to the loss of teeth. So it's important that they be doing the basics, brushing in the morning and brushing in the evening, just to make sure that, we keep the teeth longer in the mouth.
True. Some people think that primary teeth or baby teeth or milk teeth are not important. As I mentioned earlier on, they guide the permanent teeth to erupt in the correct position. So some people think, no, there's no need to take care of these baby teeth because after all, they are going to fall off. Well, it's true, but the problem is they fall off earlier than before, then you lose that guidance. And as mentioned, teeth will then deviate to abnormal positions, and then you're going to then need orthodontic treatment to align those teeth.
Okay, because now when they exfoliate or shed that early, then now they become skew, right?
Yes.
Then they're not within the, they're not aligned with the rest of the teeth.
Correct.
And I think that's when parents see then that there's a tooth that is
coming out
funny, right? We see that quite often. So you are saying to us, it's like that sometimes because then we didn't take care of the primary dentition.
At that time, yes.
At that time. And then later on we see
the effects.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, yes, true.
Thank you, Doc.
Hence, it's important to bring your children to dental centers like Kids Dental Home to make sure, and the doctor will always be aware and tell you, what are the areas that you should focus on. Remember, you've got the front teeth and you also have the back teeth. The teeth at the back are also very important because they too are sometimes or often neglected, and they also need to be restored by the dentist when they see that there is caries developing, for the same reason that they also will be guiding the premolars to erupt in the correct position. There's also another complication of neglecting those teeth at the back. If you lose them early, what happens is that, remember, behind the last milk tooth, that is where the first molar is going to erupt or, show.
Come inside in the mouth.
Now, if the teeth before, meaning the baby teeth, have been lost, what's going to happen is, as that tooth comes out, it's going to move or migrate forward. And remember, the molar tooth erupts before the premolars. Now, if it migrates forward, it's going to close the space for the eruption of the premolars. So it's very crucial that the dentist, assesses these teeth, and if there is a need to have them restored or being saved instead of being lost beforehand, then those procedures which are necessary to save the tooth should be performed. If not, if for instance maybe you come in at a late stage and the tooth is in a state which cannot be saved, then the dentist has other means of trying to hold the molar tooth, the permanent molar tooth, in position and preventing it from coming forward to then prevent the eruption space of the premolars.
Wow, that's a mouthful. It's quite interesting to actually, from what you are telling us, I think the big emphasis is, as parents, we need to be taking our children, we need to be intentional, taking our children to the dentist just for a checkup so that the doctor can check. Because from all this, what you have said, there's a lot going on without even knowing. I mean, you're mentioning the first permanent that's coming out, and then it's taking another place of, if the other one is lost early. So there's a lot going on that we might not be aware of as parents. True. And I think the message today is that make sure that you take your child to the dentist as early as possible.
And just to add on that, the old adage that, the treatment of a tooth is to remove it is actually wrong, and we need to get that out of our minds. I always tell parents, if you buy a car has a specific schedule of services. You need to take it in after 10,000 or 15,000 or whatever the service intervals may be to have it serviced. If you don't do that, in fact, these days they've realized that because people sometimes forget to even look at the odometer, or what is it, the one that counts the number of mileage that you have covered, they then decided to come with an electronic device to monitor that. The car will inform you, 2,000, I need to go for service, 1,500, now I must go for service. So the same principle should apply, because obviously parents will not know all the ins and outs of dental care, but the dentist is knowledgeable to know about that.
We are still on the foundation of the Healthy Smile, and we're with our doctor, Dr. Situsa here.